Merry Christmas, everybody. It's December 24th, 2024. And I'm here with Betty, and we are out in the middle of nowhere because what I thought I would talk about this year is loss. So, if you don't know who I am by now, um, I had earned a degree in psychology and sociology many years ago, and my original educational background was to be a relationship therapist, strangely enough. And it was all caused by two people in my life, one that I was raised by, and one that I had pursued most of my whole life. Both of which have turned out to be, let's just call them dead ends. I don't want to be rude and I don't want to be condescending. So anyway, Betty and I here are celebrating Christmas Eve, and you probably hear Pendulum and a group called In Flames. This is called Self versus Self. And let's see, what can I go on about? I was gonna go and share with you Christmas lights in the neighborhood, but there's only like one or two really good light fixtures in my area. And I ended up having to work Christmas Eve, which wasn't great, but shit got done. And she's not very happy. Betty, it's okay. Give me kisses. So anyway, this is a impromptu Christmas Eve special, and I thought that what I would do is I would open it up to you for anybody who has had any questions about what I have gone through or been through, or if you have questions of what you've gone through and been through, and I will try my best to answer them in the comments because I haven't had a chance to really connect one-on-one with those who actually watch what I do. And if you have been a channel subscriber, thank you. And what I thought I would do originally is share what I have learned in my first 1,000 subs, although I have crossed over into 1,100 subs. So if you are one of those 1,100 plus subs, thank you. What should I go on about? What have I learned in my first 1,000 subs in 2024? So basically what I have discovered is that every original rule of YouTube when I first joined doesn't apply anymore, because I have gone through the what you should do's and what you shouldn't do's, and that was ruined by not only Adpocalypse, which happened a couple of years before the Rona, it also happened during Rona, and everything that happened after Rona, which we have all discovered is absolute bullshit. Because I would like to say that I have had 0 vaccines and 0 boosters, and I'm perfectly healthy. Never had Rona. Never had to go through any of the regimens that is to cure yourself of Rona. Not once. My 73-year-old mother, she had 1 vaccine and 2 boosters, and she's been sick more times than I can recall. My dad is 89 years old as of the time that I'm writing, or I'm doing this. He has had 0 issues with Rona and 0 issues of vaccines or whatever. Oh, holy crap. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that there was a live chat going on. My mistake. Vola Nix, if I subscribe, can I get a shout out? Yes, you can. Shout out to you. Sorry. This is the first time I've ever done a live, so my mistake. I was totally not paying attention. For those of you who have subscribed to my channel before, I am a gun channel and a gear channel and a game channel. And this is my dog Betty. Yorkshire Terrier. I have 7 of them. Once upon a time I had 13 of them. Whatever. I'm sorry. I will pay more attention to the chat. I didn't realize that was going on at the same time. What is my favorite gun? Mike has asked what's my favorite gun. If I had to choose a favorite right now, favorite gun right now, I guess if I had to choose my favorite pistol, it would be the Century Arms Model 100 revolver in 4570. If I had to pick a rifle or, quote, machine gun or assault rifle, I've always been pretty partial to the Lewis gun, actually, and I would love to own one. I also like the PPSH in 9mm. I also like the STG 44, which I originally ordered from Hill and Mac, and they never came through. And then Palmetto State Armory bought out the rights, and guess what? They don't have one either. So, yeah. Vaporware Champion Emeritus. It's the Duke Nukem Forever rifle. So yeah, that would be my favorite gun. STG 44, in terms of practicality, I guess, for all-arounder. If I had to choose, like, favorite gun pistol, out of every possible thing I could have had, in terms of practicality, caliber, availability of ammo, and usability, probably my Colt Python 6-inch, the Rick Grimes 357 Magnum, probably my favorite gun so far. I do own that, and I also own a Colt Anaconda, the Stop or My Mom Will Shoot 44 Magnum. I'm so sorry if I was really bad about this live thing. This is the very first time I've ever done this, and it's Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas to you all. Thank you for tuning in. I had no idea this was going to happen. And, oh, I guess my lights in the car stopped. Whatever. Hi, good evening, Heidi. Good evening, Mike. Good evening, Vola, Manpreet, and Ashley. So, yeah, for all of you who sent messages, I'm sorry. I didn't notice it was happening down below. I really didn't notice that. This is the first time I've done this. I was originally going to intend to drive around the city of Houston, which I live 28 miles west of the city proper. If there's anything you'd like to know about here or the area or me, go ahead and ask. Now that I'm actually paying attention, I'll tell you what's going on. I had no idea this was going on. But I guess in the meantime, while I'm waiting for the questions, I'll talk to you about with 1,000 subs thing. So I have started my channel since I want to say 2008 or 9, maybe slightly before that, just because I was a commenter. And what I had learned was the rules back then were very different. So back then, I followed people who told me that if you started a YouTube channel, that what you would want to do is stay in your lane. And what they meant by that is you would pick a topic and you would stick to that one thing and do nothing else. And back in those days, it was a simple matter of if you created a second channel, YouTube would ban you. But by today's standards, they were like, no, you can have as many channels as you want because everyone has a second channel. I don't have one, but a lot of people do for whatever reason. Let me see if I can fix this. Hey, there we go. I got the Starlight thing because it's part of my air freshener. So anyway, what I had learned was I started my channel originally as a gun guy and a guy who was going to do pistol and rifle reviews. And what I had discovered very quickly was that this community of people were very disenfranchised and very, it's okay, baby, very disenfranchised and very screwed with by not only the powers that be, but by those who uh, sponsor those channels or monetize those channels. So before Adpocalypse, I was doing like gun reviews, pistols, a couple of rifles, a lot of reloading videos because I had become a reloader because reloading was very expensive, cost per round. So I had got into that, and I had hosted a lot of chats on a website that no longer exists that used to be called Gun Channels. We used to do a lot of live chats, and I actually hosted a lot of those live chats. And what ended up happening was that all fell apart because a lot of people from the site or the hosting sites, they were just chasing money. And that's unfortunate because I just work a 9 to 5 like the rest of you. And what ended up happening was some of those jobless pricks ended up just disappearing. Or they would attack those of us who helped boost their channels. And then when we were no longer useful after Adpocalypse, they just ghosted us. So whatever. I've made a lot of friends in the community on and off in the meantime. And I've lost touch with a lot of them, but I've made a lot of contacts with them all across the country. In my personal life, I used to tell people that I have traveled hundreds of countries, dozens of cultures, spoken multiple languages because I am a psychology and sociology major, or I was. And all of that was for nothing at the end of the day because I'm still an IT guy and a tinkerer, a gunsmith, and a mechanic, and I'm here with you guys. So thank you for all joining and watching and liking and subscribing, I guess. So yeah, I'm definitely floundering. What I had learned in 1,000 subs was pretty simple. The rules have changed since Apocalypse, and what I could tell you all is if you want to have a message and you don't have one facet of what you do, then spread out a bit. For those of you who watch my channel, you probably see like this very familiar loading screen from video games past where it has like multiple icons, and I try to make each one of those icons mean something. And in that process, I try to show that gun people and gaming people and gear people are just everyday people, right? So I can work on cars, I can build guns, I can fix guns, I can make ammunition, I can do IT stuff, I can do psychology and sociology, as I have spent all my years since 2008 volunteering for Camp Hope in Houston, where we counsel returning combat veterans who have problems getting acclimated back to the real world. I've probably helped over 200 or 300 people since 2008. And in that time, I can honestly say, on one hand, I have lost 4 people to suicide that came back from combat. And that's a very serious issue to me. And I take very personal offense to those who give up when I'm trying to help them. But out of a couple of hundred, I lost 4. And it's really hard for me to deal with and cope with. But anyway, aside from that, you probably noticed my channel has a bunch of icons. And what I try to do is I'm trying to show that gun people and game people and mechanically inclined people and politically motivated people, we're all just people. We all just do things, right? So like if you're a political pundit, for instance, and that is your life and that is what you drive home and that's what your day-to-day runs on, you could still be a gun person and a game person and a gear person and still share all those experiences. And none of those things take away from the fact that you're still part of a different community. And that's what I do. So like I started off as a gun guy and a mechanic guy. And we're just everyday people. And I think that if society and uh, humanity and the social media world sort of understands that, then they can realize that gun people are not psychopaths, and game people are not lunatics, and people who have fanaticism about something, they're just passionate about something, and it's not a bad thing. Like, do what you do. So if you're an up and coming YouTube person and you want to be a content creator, if you're a cook or a gun guy or a gear guy or a game guy or whatever, just do you. Be honest to who you are. Do what you do. Share your message. Be honest. Don't lie to people. Interact with those who respond in the chat, like I've been seeing down here. And just do you. And people will subscribe to you. And if they like you, they'll follow you. If they don't like you can't please everybody every time. This here, you might see me grabbing this. This was something that I've been trying to do for my whole life. I'm half Korean and half Irish and Scottish. So this is a miracle that I can even do this right here, this. Like, that shouldn't happen for a guy like me. So I'm not proud of it, but I'm happy that I was able to finally do it. I'm 45 years old and I finally did this, right? So, hi, I'm Sean Ponery. This is my channel. This is my dog Betty. I call her my magnum opus because I was a schnauzer person, and my mother, who is Korean, is very emotional, and she always wanted Yorkshire Terriers, so I gave her one. And this is the final puppy out of all the Yorkshire Terriers I've ever had that became something. And I'm very proud of her, and I like her, even though for me, I was schnauzers and French bulldogs and stuff like that. But she'll do, and I'm sure she likes to be on camera. There she is. She's also the smallest dog I own ever. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm probably babbling on, and I've probably been doing it for 18 minutes. I can't even believe any of you have been watching this and liking this. So thank you all for joining me and sharing this with me. I may have a post or two of Christmas lights that I want to share with you later tonight. But yeah, I'm sorry. I probably babbled on way too long. Do what you do. If you want to create a YouTube channel, just be honest with yourself. And if people want to follow you, they will. If they don't, so be it. You can't please everybody all the time. She's getting a bit emotional. Anyway, I'm out of here. Thank you all for joining me. This was the first time I've ever done this. And for those of you who don't know, this is Maggie, the 2016 Ram Lone Star. You've probably seen a couple of videos on that too, because I'm also a mechanic. I was an IT guy. I went to work for Chevrolet for years as a mechanic. I went back to school. I became a psychologist and a psychiatrist and a sociologist. I got my PhD in it. I went for my MD program, and I walked the fuck away from it. Because, you know what? I'm not going to be beholden to fucking prescription medication people. Fuck that. Anyway, Merry Christmas for you all. I hope you have a Happy New Year. And thanks for watching. I don't even know where to stop this. See you later. I hope your 2025 is better than mine, because my 2024, absolute dog shit. Later.